So I'm here at the Conrad Orlando. It's my first time here on property because it just opened 2 days ago. I think I'm like one of 3 guests that's staying here. This place is absolutely massive and beautiful.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting Resort Review. Today we are at the Conrad Orlando checking out everything here at this brand new hotel just opened this week. I'm here to report that this place is going to be very, very popular one day very soon. Tried some of the food, walked around the Evermore Bay, the massive Criss Lagoons pool that they built here. All the bare bones of this property are absolutely incredible. Some opening kinks to work out for sure, and I will detail that in this video.
But enough intro, let's get into the property tour. By the way, if you like these types of videos, please subscribe to the channel and like this video, really helps us out. So I took an Uber from my hotel on my first night of my stay in Orlando and headed to the Evermore Resort. I will say that this place is so new that they don't actually have the Conrad in Uber yet. So I used Lyft. They did have the Conrad in there. If you are using Uber right now in the early days, Evermore Resort pretty much works. And then you tell the guard at the gate that you're staying at the Conrad. He checks your name on the list and you're heading in. So very high end there. And you can see driving in, you're driving through the golf courses. There's 36 holes of golf here. It's at the Grand Cypress Golf Club, which has been around for a number of decades. It's actually the golf course that you would use at the Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress, which is one of my favorite hotels in the area. I'm a big Hyatt guy, but stay at Hilton's and Marriott's from time to time. So the golf course wasn't built for the resort, but you do have access to that. You have some discounts for club rentals as part of your resort fee here, which is $50 a night right now. I'm staying on a points certificate with my Hilton Aspire credit card, so I actually didn't have to pay the resort fee, which is nice. And I will say that paying the resort fee for a resort right now that is still, in the soft opening phase, I don't think is really fair. So I was happy that I didn't have to pay that this trip. And then a lot of the drive here is really along the new neighborhood that they're building. So this is definitely still under construction. That will be sorted out probably in the next couple months. It seems like it's pretty close to being done. So that is one thing to note here, is that the Conrad isn't the only real property here. They have some golf villas as well as some condos. They're gonna have the neighborhood. There's gonna be a lot of people using this Crystal Lagoon that they've built, so it's not gonna be just exclusive to the Conrad guests. Here we are at the entrance. We're arriving really nice looking, kind of a beachy feel to it. Lots of like white sand around, kind of had like a light Tulum vibe, I would say, throughout the resort. Pretty cool. And then here we are at the valet, really fancy valet here. They offered me some waters. They had some scented towels. And this lobby is absolutely gorgeous and incredibly high end. And you just get an amazing view out there at the Crystal Lagoons. Just that awesome blue that is just incredible. Really cool art on the walls too. Notice this kind of motif at different Conrads, so it definitely fits in the Conrad. It really felt like a Conrad, which is awesome. I've stayed at Conrads all over the world, in the Maldives, etc. It is definitely a Conrad. So that elevator leads to Siba, which is the Mexican restaurant on the top floor. It wasn't open quite yet for my stay. It was opening later in January. But right behind the front desk is this awesome view of Evermore Bay. So the bay itself, you're able to swim in it. It's, technically a pool, but it's massive. And they have watercraft on there. So they have these Duffy boats that I remember from my time in California. They have a Criss Craft, and actually a Criss Craft branded lounge, which is cool. They have paddle boards and kayaks for you to rent. When I was staying here, it was actually a really freezing day for Orlando, definitely the coldest I've ever seen, so I didn't get the chance to try those out, unfortunately, but those are all included in your resort fee. The Conrad Spa was under construction still. That wasn't quite open. This is where the fitness center was going to be. Saw they were pretty close to getting that fitness center up and running. Definitely got the equipment in there, so that should be open pretty soon. And then part of the spa that I was excited to check out, unfortunately couldn't, was this water garden. So it seems like a kind of relaxing garden-like environment with some hot tubs. I'm sure it's going to be probably separate from the main pool and kind of an extra charge as part of being a part of the spa. So now let's go check out the outside. So they do have an arrival and departure lounge, which I think is pretty cool. Really more of like kind of a locker room and place to store your bags if you have a late flight or come in on an early flight and your room isn't quite ready and you want to change into your swimsuit. I thought that's really awesome. A lot of international guests, I assume, that will be coming here to stay too. Now we're gonna go check out the pool. This pool is actually exclusive to the Conrad, so this is separate than the Evermore Bay. Buzzing in my key card here and walking in. I was definitely one of like 10 guests here the night that I stayed, so there was absolutely no one at the pool. So we got some really great shots of the pool here for you. Really a gorgeous, gorgeous pool setup. I mean, kind of zero entry in places. Didn't see a hot tub around this spot. I think that there are hot tubs more on the spa side and like that water garden, it seemed. But I mean, look how gorgeous this pool is. Then over here you can see the start of kind of the Tulumi vibe. They have the white sand, which is really amazing, and so it just really feels like you're actually at a beach versus like this man-made artificial lagoon. So just incredible look. A little splash pad for the kids, which I think is great. Gonna be a lot of kids here. We are really close to Disney's property. Part of your resort fee, you do have a free shuttle to the 4 theme parks at Disney World each day. You're also pretty close to SeaWorld and Universal Orlando, so pretty easy to get around Orlando for sure here. They do have valet parking as well as self-parking. That's all paid. If you are just coming in for one of the restaurants, they valet for up to 3 hours complimentary. So the cabanas were over here. Those were definitely still being set up because some of them didn't have TVs. Some of the TVs were mounted, but they were still in boxes. But these are going to be obviously an extra charge like pretty much every other resort. Looks pretty nice though. I'm sure this is going to be quite popular in the summer months when it's a little bit warmer outside. A quick note about expenses while we're on the topic. So I paid a certificate for my night, which was worth about 90,000 points a night. So this is definitely a high-end Hilton property in terms of pricing. Rooms themselves were going for over $700 a night pre-tax, but that included the resort fee. So pretty expensive property for sure. What I thought was also cool is they actually had a 1-bedroom suite available that had bunk beds for the kids because there are going to be a lot of families staying here. Really liked that option. I think more properties should definitely do that. We're going to check out my room on property here after we do our resort tour. If you want to see that, you can go ahead and skip ahead. I will say that I had some issues with that room, and so they actually moved me, and nice enough to move me to a suite. So I'm going to have a tour of both Lagoon view room, 1 king, and a 1 king suite. Not the family suite, just the regular old suite with a nature view. So we're going to check that out. So as you can see, there were ladders and painting still going on, that sort of thing. Resort was still definitely getting ready for prime time. We're gonna go check out the other side though of the arrivals lounge and check what it looks like inside, as well as the kids club, which was actually open and fairly furnished. So activities in these kids clubs are usually included with your stay. Good place for them to hang out. Maybe mom and dad can grab a drink or something like that. But really cool little spot here. Had a little outdoor area as well. Looks really, really high end. Probably pretty fun for the kids. Now we're gonna walk over to Papaya Club, which I was really excited to check out for dinner. Unfortunately, it was really cold, and so they closed for dinner, but they were open for lunch. This is gonna be your kind of tiki bar, definitely a Tulumi vibe. So it's kind of a mix of like those sushi style entrees with the tiki bar drinks. Really cool look to this place for sure. And I have no doubt that this place is gonna be quite popular when this place really gets going. So now we're actually on the ground floor. This is right next to Evermore Bay, of course. The hotel itself is across 7 stories, I believe. Lobby's gonna be on the 3rd floor, and then down on the 1st floor are some restaurants, Sophia's, which is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as Apero, which is their sort of lobby bar concept. Both of those are definitely high-end Italian. I got the chance to try those. We're gonna show you some of that a little later in the video, but really, really amazing stuff there. We're gonna go check out what exactly those look like now before exploring the rest of the bay. So right here is Apero. So this is sort of your lobby lounge, your cocktail bar on property. Definitely high-end Italian. Cocktails is the name of the game. I got to try one of their Negronis, which was the best Negroni I've ever had. Really loved the olive selection that was included with my drink too, which was really, really good. I'm a big olive fan. Really cool lighting in here, really cool ceiling, as you saw. The clay pot Negroni, of course, that I mentioned. Fantastic. Can't speak more highly of how good that drink was. And then I had the arancini, which was absolutely spectacular. Lots of seating areas outside too to enjoy the weather or the nice views of the bay. And then you can make your way over to dinner at Sophia's, which is their main dining restaurant besides the Papaya Club, and then the Mexican restaurant at the top floor. So this is where I got to have a little small meal, I would say, in the evening. Had a $50 credit to burn as part of being a Hilton Diamond member, which is always nice. This property doesn't go super far, but definitely helpful for sure. So they definitely have Italian dining concept with multiple courses here. They also had a pizza menu, had an espresso martini, which is really nice. And then I opted for some focaccia bread, which was baked fresh and just amazing. And then had this off-menu salad that was just absolutely spectacular. So I can't speak more highly of the food here at the Conrad. Despite some of the issues that I had with my stay, I think everything is going to be corrected and it's just going to be really a spectacular place. So now let's check out the Evermore Bay and walk all the way around the lagoon. So definitely this is the part of the stay that I was most looking forward to. For obvious reasons, it's just an incredibly unique concept. I've only seen this done in a couple places on Earth so far. It took a while for them to finally get it somewhere that I could visit more closely. They have one of these types of lagoons in Cabo San Lucas, which I saw in person. It's really nice. So really excited that this is in Orlando. You can see the rest of the hotel here, as well as the convention center connected to the hotel. So there's gonna be a lot of convention groups here. It makes sense. It's part of the grand opening. I think they did this sandcastle display, which is really cool. Love seeing these. So speaking of beach, the Conrad does have a private beach. We're gonna check that out after we loop all the way around. But they do have a little private section of the beach that you can go jump in and swim, or you can walk around. There's a lot of other areas at Evermore Bay that are open and able to be used if you're staying here on property. They have an awesome family water slide that wasn't open while I was here, but I will show you that, as well as all the places to go rent your kayaks and your paddle boards. I don't know what they have to do to the pool to make it this color blue, but it is absolutely stunning in person. I hope that this footage captures it in its essence. And then they do have these boat docks around the lagoon. So this is definitely like a water shuttle type scenario that wasn't running while I was here, but they do have a shuttle. They also have a bus that's running around the rest of the bay, so you can get to the other side, which has some more restaurants and things to check out. Kind of more of a family beach, I would say.
Woo. And then they got these villas over here that I believe were left over from when this was part of the Grand Cypress, because the knobs look older and doesn't look as slick, but they look like, you know, nicely new and repainted at least. All the service so far has been really nice because there's probably 3 or 4 guests at the property. The check-in agent actually escorted me to my room, which is great. I am in Diamond, so I was able to get an upgrade to a Lagoon view, which I wanted for sure here. Only bummer was they tried to charge me for the upgrade over email earlier, and I'm not going to have any of that. So I said, hey, you know, new property, I'm a Diamond member, I think maybe you just give me a Lagoon view instead of the nature view, which I think would really just be of construction. And they nicely agreed, so that's good. But overall, I think not having to do that as a loyal member of a brand is probably for the best.
Over here on the other side of the bay is this rope swing, which wasn't open, of course, because it was cold, but big deep part of the lagoon here that you can actually jump into.
I was also wondering, like, they have this massive pool, there's no water slide, but right here is quite the water slide.
They call this a family water slide because multiple people can go down it at once, which I think is really, really fun. Just note, as I've said multiple times in this video, things did close unfortunately due to weather, so just keep that in mind. And as I mentioned, they do have this shuttle bus that's going everywhere around Evermore Resort. So at the opposite end of the bay is this area called the Landing. So this is definitely like kind of a beach pavilion with some restaurants there, more of a to-go concept. I think designed really more for people to go enjoy the beach. They do have a lot of seating areas inside, and they do have in that taller building over there in the distance another restaurant sit down called Twin Views, I think because you can see both the bay and the golf course. And this is kind of the family beach side, so a lot of lounge chairs around the bay, and then we're overlooking the Conrad out in the distance over there. They had some beach toys as well as some floaties available for people to use too, which is nice. And underneath the restaurant, they did have a nice little locker room set up with showers, so if you wanted to shower off after the fun day at the bay, you can. And to continue kind of the Tulumi vibe, they do have these funky beach chairs as I walk over to where you can grab your water sport type activities like your kayaks and your paddleboards, as well as a nice little dock to grab the water shuttle when it's operating. And one thing I loved at the end of this is a Criss craft, which is just a really cool historic boat from back in the 20th century. And they have a cool Criss craft branded meeting room, so you can check out the Criss crafts if you do some business. Really think that was cool. Nice little touch. Next to that is this little events lawn, so you can probably get married right next to the bay over here. So while I am coming here at a weird time and they're not 100% done with the resort, I think this may become the most popular like non-Disney resort in Orlando. I mean, there's built for conventions, really nice rooms here. You got awesome facilities. I think I'm experiencing something that a lot of people are about to experience and want to come to soon in Orlando. Fun little beach bar here, an old Volkswagen with, of course, your swing chairs. These are absolutely necessary at a beach resort in 2024. We got some beach volleyball. Got some beach volleyball over here. Now we're going to check out the top floor lobby level. So this is Little Spoon. This is kind of their to-go, coffee shop, fresh juices, that sort of thing. That was not open yet, unfortunately, but there it is for you. If you kept moving, you would go to where the convention center is, all of the convention-y type things, your business center, that sort of thing. Okay, now let's finally check out my room. So we're gonna make our way up the elevators here, check out some of the views from the elevator area, really just overlooking the spa and the nature view. So that would be kind of your nature view. I had a lagoon view originally. This really, really amazing atrium in the lobby though. It goes all the way from the lobby all the way to the top floors. So really cool architectural design here. Lots of cool art in the hallways as well. One other thing I kind of noticed is that they pasted this sign up pointing forward, but of course it's actually to the right where those rooms they're trying to guide you. So just another little thing that they could probably work out. So my first room was 538. Let's check it out. I was excited to see what exactly the new rooms here at the Conrad look like. First impressions, really, really nice room. Very Conrad on brand. overall, I think that the closets over here to the left were a little hard to open, funny enough. But have your irons and all of your kind of closet-like items here. I think some items were not quite ready to be put in rooms yet. That'll probably be filled out later. All your laundry facilities here, your robe. Really just a stunning room. Love the king bed, love the art on the walls, just the color scheme, the whole thing was really, really nice. Here's where your coffee station is. They use an espresso, which is great. Bathroom felt really fresh and high-end, lots of marble everywhere, cool glass shower, lots of mirrors, really cool sense of space here. Opened up to multiple areas of the room, 2 different entrances, so it really feels nice and open. Thought they did a really good job with the bathrooms here in the normal size rooms. And then just your typical toilet there, nothing like a Toto or anything like that. Now let's make our way into the bedroom. One cool thing I thought was they actually had little storage underneath this desk here that fit my away bag perfectly. Thought that was really cool to keep things kind of nice and tidy. I really liked that. Aquapana waters throughout the resort, which is really, really great. And then a little sitting couch there, that's not a fold out. And the art on the wall here, and then we can go check out what the view looks like for the lagoon. So this room does have USB-A next to the beds, which I'm not really sure why they did that, but USB-C is on the desk. It is 2024, so I don't know why they chose to do USB-As. And did notice this like bunny motif throughout the hotel, so they did have that on each one of the balconies. When I came back to my room after exploring a little bit of Orlando, I noticed that they did some turn down service, which is really great. Good to see from a high-end property. Had some really nice chocolates right next to the bed too. Don't see this that often anymore, so I really thought that was a nice touch by the Conrad. Shortly after though, that's where my issues began. My TV didn't work. It took over an hour to get things, well, not really fixed, but addressed. So the property did decide to move, or really offer me a suite across the hall that had a working TV so I could watch the NFL playoffs, which is really great. Overall, like, just kind of minor things when a property is first opening. Just some issues that will be addressed over time. So here is the suite I got moved into. I know these property tours can get a little long-winded, so if you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me a comment in the comments. Let me know that you made it this far. I really appreciate y'all watching, and thanks a lot, and we'll see you at the next property.